In this video, I'm going to show you 4 new string functions: text before, text after, text join, and text split. First, let us see text before and text after. So for that, I'm going to type a formula in cell C1. I'm using cell function. And I'm choosing, there are multiple parameters we can choose. I'm going to select the file name parameter. And let's see what happens. So the cell function printed the full file path of this Excel, then the name of the Excel, new Excel string functions dot XLSX, then the sheet name, text before, text after. So this is the sheet name. So I am going to split this long string into folder name in this cell, then sheet name in this cell, and file name in this cell. So let us extract the folder name here in cell C4. So I am going to use text before function. So text before function, the first parameter is the text itself. So I am going to select cell C1. I click on cell C1. This is the text from which I am going to extract the folder name. I am using comma. Then I am going to give what is the delimiter. Delimiter, I am going to choose that starting square bracket. So that is where the folder name ends. So I am going to give the opening square bracket as the delimiter. And the remaining optional parameters I am going to skip. So let us see what happens. I am closing the bracket. So it extracted the full path name, which is printed just before the opening square bracket in the text printed in cell C1. So I have successfully extracted the folder name using text before. So the function I will show you using text before. Now let me extract sheet name. So sheet name is printed just after the closing square bracket. If you notice here, just after the closing square bracket. So here I have used text before, but here I will be using text after. So text after. So the text is again text in C1, selecting. But here the delimiter now will be the closing square bracket because the sheet name is printed after the closing square bracket. So I'm saying print the text after the closing square bracket. That is the meaning of this function. So I am closing the bracket, pressing enter. So it printed the sheet name, text before, text after, text before, text after. If the sheet name you can see here, text before, text after. Now I am going to extract the file name from the text in C1. So for that, I will use again text after. Text is again C1, comma, delimiter is, so the file name is printed just after the opening square bracket, but it has also the closing square bracket and the sheet name. So doesn't matter. So I'm going to give opening square bracket as the delimiter for text after, and let us see what it extracts. So now it extracted whatever is there after the opening square bracket, that is new Excel string functions .xlsx, the closing square bracket, and then the sheet name. So this is not what I want, but this is the first step towards that. So now I have to extract new Excel string functions .xlsx, which is printed before the closing square bracket. So I'm going to enclose this text after function in a text before function. So text before. So the text is the output of text after. So that is the text. So I'm giving a comma, and the delimiter here is Here I have used the opening square bracket, and here I am going to use the closing square bracket. So it will first execute text after and return the entire string after the opening square bracket as new Excel string function.xlsx, the closing square bracket, and the text before text after the sheet name. And on that extracted string, I am passing that to a text before function with the extracted string as the text and delimiter as the closing square bracket. So it will extract just the file name from it. So let us see by pressing enter. So now it extracted the file name from this long string. So from this long string, the output of cell function, I extracted the folder name using text before. I extracted the sheet name using text after, and I extracted the file name using a combination of text after and text before. Now let us see how TEXTJOIN function works. So this is my data. So I'm going to join all these individual cell values using a delimiter. So I'll show you. So I'll type a formula here using TEXTJOIN. The first one is the delimiter which I want to use. So I am going to use comma. I'll give it in double quotes. Next one is whether to ignore empty cells. We say true. The third parameter is the text. So I'm going to give the text. I'll selecting the range, entire range. And I'm closing the bracket. Let's see what it prints. So it printed the concatenated text with the comma as the delimiter. So Thomas, Dominic, male, 21 engineer. After engineer, again there is a comma and the remaining values are printed. So this is how TEXTJOIN works. But here, Thomas, Dominic, male, 21 engineer, that is the end of one person record. So if I want to use a different delimiter other than comma for the last column, how to do that? So I will show you how. So I can specify delimiter for each cell in a new row. In row 9, I have updated commas for all these columns and a semicolon for the last column. So I will edit this formula TEXTJOIN. So here I had given only one delimiter. So and all the values were concatenated using comma. So I am going to replace this comma. I am deleting this, and in its place I am going to select this range which has comma against 4 columns and semicolon for the last cell showing the person record. So I selected the range which has the delimiters mentioned in this row 9. Let us see what the output is. I am pressing enter. Then I will copy this just to analyze the string and paste it as values. Because if I use F2, it will show the format. So here, if I press F2, it will show the string. So Thomas, Dominic, male, all these are separated by comma, here comma, all this comma, but after profession, the new person record starts. So there it used semicolon because I have mentioned semicolon for the last column. Then it printed Ajay. After that, again comma, after comma again comma, after male again comma, after age comma, after profession again another semicolon. So each person record is delimited using semicolon, whereas individual values for a person record is delimited using comma. So that is the difference. I'm going to delete this. So now each person record is separated by a semicolon, whereas individual cells are separated for a person by comma delimiter. Now I will show you how to use text split to convert this back to this format. So text split is another function. So I will use this text split. Text split. So first one is the text. So I am going to give this delimited text as input. Now it asks for what is the column delimiter. So column delimiter means individual cells. I will use comma as the column delimiter, and which is the delimiter to split the rows. So one person record is over, then the delimiter is semicolon to wrap to the next row. That is what it meant by row delimiter. So I am going to give semicolon as row delimiter. I'm going to press enter. See, it converted this delimited string into an array or range like what we had earlier. So this is how text split works. Now I will edit this formula and I will remove the column delimiter value, and let's see what happens. I am not specifying anything against column delimiter. I am giving just the row delimiter as semicolon. So pressing enter. So it printed the comma delimited string for each person record in each row, because I mentioned only row delimiter, which was semicolon. Now I'll undo. Now I will keep only column delimiter. I will remove row delimiter. Let's see what happens. So now the column, it split the string using comma. It ignored the semicolon and it printed engineer semicolon Ajay as one string. And because we have used only the comma as delimiter, and then again it printed all the value. Then again here the profession of one record, semicolon, and the first name of the next person. So it printed like that. That's it for now. Thanks for watching this video. Please click on like button if you find the information I shared useful, and update comments. Also, please subscribe to my channel to get notified about new videos which I will post in future.